Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. Regular season finale to end off the SpeedZone eSports series. I believe 8 drivers make it to the playoffs. Nobody, even the admins, nobody knew pre-race. So I think it's top 8, we're going to assume. We got a smaller field than normal tonight, only 19 drivers, but it's going to be a banger. And we're going short track racing, baby. So let's see what goes down here. Got Alex in the booth with me. 12? Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, with that being said, qualifying is underway. We have a newcomer, maybe ran a race or two, but Joshua Lawton in the 40 machine. We'll see him a little bit later as Nathaniel goes top of the board in his number 66 with a 4-5. Randy's going to beat him and go more top of the board. Here's Joshua pulling out. Randy goes top of the board. Cade goes top of the board in the number 25. Never mind. Nathaniel's got it. Back to Joshua. It's all going down. Kevin Ritchie. Kevin Ritchie top of the board. A 2-6 for Kevin Ritchie. By almost a tenth of a second. Now Joshua Lawton going to ride on board with him. Josh, one of the new guys in the league. One of the fastest that I've seen racing. And in multiple hosted sessions, he goes top of the board first lap with a 2.25. Looking to improve on the second one. Beats Kyle Ritchie. It's going to be a Ritchie second and third at the moment. Josh is a little sideways. Does he improve? He doesn't, but still would have been a good enough lap for third. Great lap there from Josh. Here's Mikey Adams. Almost up to the wall, able to keep it out of it. But he puts their P11 on the board. With a 6-7. Casey Brown up in the outside wall. Not the night that he wanted to have happen. Not the qualifying run, we should say. So what are you expecting to see out of tonight, Alex?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I honestly have no idea. It's Bristol. I mean, one of the hardest tracks on the schedule, I think, especially in this car. I heard a lot of complaints from the drivers pre-race that it is hot, very, very hot. I'll even give you track temp right now. Track temp is currently. Oh, if I maybe I won't be able to tell you. I thought I was able to, but let's see. Track temp's gonna be 104 degrees right now, just in qualifying. I have a feeling it's gonna go up. It's about. I think it's about midday here in the race, so I think we might get hotter. So I don't know. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so maybe it'll get a little hotter. We'll see. But I think it's gonna be a bit of a crazy one. I think we'll see some maybe a bit of chaos today. I mean, like I said, it is Bristol. You never really know what to expect here. I think it's gonna be a lot of sideways cars, a lot of cars hitting the wall on the exit, especially if, 1 and 2. That's the tricky one, I believe, for a lot of these guys is the entry to 1 and 2. You just slide up into the wall. So I think we're gonna see some good action and hopefully some good racing.
We definitely will. Bristol Motor Speedway. One of the best on iRacing, newly updated as well. But Jared Lindsay goes top of the board with a 1.64. Was just able to watch his lap. Not too bad for Jared there. I think got him by about a tenth, maybe.
Yeah, you got him by about looks to be half a
Yeah.
tenth almost, a little bit over.
So
But
Josh gets beat there at the end of qualifying. Bottom looks to be pretty good here early.
yeah, I mean it looks like the you could. I mean I don't know. In practice, it looks like you can kind of go everywhere. Top's gonna be a bit more risky, obviously, but I don't know. It looks like they can go anywhere. I know in the Xfinity car, it's usually a little bit more that you can explore. The Cup car, I don't even know where you can go at this point. But Xfinity car, you can move around a little bit more. I mean, you see here's a pretty close times too, and I don't think everybody actually ran around the same line. So yeah, we'll see. Shouldn't single file out, I don't hope, but you never know.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of the guys early in the race on the bottom, but as we get later into it, as rubber gets laid down, you're gonna see everybody start to migrate up to the top. So we'll see how much their going to migrate and who could find the grip to come out of this deal on top. But everybody's going to be gritting now. And that is the end of qualifying. So Jared gets the pole.
Yeah, kind of a mixed up top 10 to be honest. I know, like you said before, kind of a smaller field tonight. So close to 20, but I'm sure some people saw Bristol and was like, maybe this isn't the best race to show up to. But yeah, currently got 20 guys. They'll take us to the field really quickly, as we got. Let's see here. I'm gonna find a good camera angle. There we go. All right, so we're gonna round out pole position. Jared Lindsay with a 15-1, taking the pole by about half a tenth from a newcomer, Joshua Lyon, who seems to be pretty quick. We'll see what he can do tonight. It's a all Richie second row. Kyle Richie outdoing his brother just by like 10 thousandths of a second. It was not very far between the two, and down in fifth, current points leader Nathaniel Landwehr, hoping to keep that lead tonight. I do not believe the lead is as big as he would want it. I think they're, especially with he's had not an amazing last couple races, but we'll see what he can do tonight. Right next to him in sixth is Joshua Farmer, another new guy, only a couple races in the league. We'll see how he does tonight. Right behind him, Cade Ferguson, the number 25, with league owner Randy Arms down in eighth place with Sam Demian in 10th or ninth, excuse me. Casey Brown in that classic 98 John Deere scheme down in 10th. Josh Abney 11th. Landon Quisenberry, kind of surprising to see him down that far in 12th, but we'll see what we can do. Fan favorite Mikey Adams down in 13th with Ryan Tiller in 14th. Jonathan Schwartz, kind of surprising to see him so back far on the field as well, with Jesse Brooks down behind him in 16th, with Michael Cochrane taking the last qualified spot in 17th, with Jonathan Mazzella and Lucas Alves not qualifying, just rounding out the back of the pack.
We got a bunch of different opportunities here for tonight. We got an all Richie second row. We've seen them two get into trouble together earlier in Phoenix, and then we also saw it, I believe, a little bit later in another race. So these two could make this first laps interesting. But coming to it, what is your prediction for tonight, Alex? Who do you got with it?
I don't know, man. I kind of want to bet on either one of the Ritchie brothers tonight, especially, I don't know, Kevin's been kind of quick here, and he likes to run a lot of Bristol when it comes around here, especially in the Xfinity and the truck and whatnot, so keep an eye on him. But if I'm going to take one pick, I'm going to give it to Kyle Ritchie tonight. Another guy who likes to run Bristol, does quite a good amount of laps here, and although I'm a little bit biased, I made that scheme for him that he's running tonight, that gorgeous purple Stitch 98 car, so it's going to pop, and so I don't know. Let's hope I don't jinx him tonight. Who do you got, Gabe?
I'm going to go with Joshua Lawton. I know him. He's really damn quick on a lot of these short tracks, race him a lot in super lates and stuff like that. But come to the green for the regular season finale here at Bristol. Jared and Josh into turn one, going to lead them. And we're green for 150 laps at Bristol.
Yeah, Joshua Lawton not waiting very long to take the lead there from Lindsay. Neither of them got a really good start, to be honest. Looked like they actually spun the tires there, but like I said, Lawton wasting no time here on the first lap.
Jared going to try to run him down. Looks like Kevin's going to have the opportunity to clear Kyle on the outside line. See who's able to clear, trying to keep all the battles on the screen while we can, as Jared's really rolling to Josh's back bumper. Battle for the lead into turn number one.
Yeah, like I mentioned pre-race before, Cabe, looks like you can kind of go anywhere right now. I see a lot of guys towards the back of the pack. Oh, so we got a little bit of contact between the Ritchie brothers.
Ritchie's make contact. We've seen it before, but move Kevin into the top three, his best running position of the whole season, it seems like, and he's going to try to take second from Joshua on the bottom.
Yeah, it looks to be moving right now. I was going to say, it looks like they can kind of go anywhere. Kevin's running the top. We see Lawton usually
Oh,
Kevin
he
Ritchie
jinxed him all by himself into the inside wall. Not much damage, but Kevin, and actually a really nice paint scheme that I like a lot. I don't know if that is a Jeremy Clemens paint scheme, but that was awful. All by himself, right in front of his brother, coming off the top lane. Early in this one, the top seems to be pretty sketchy.
Oh, like I said pre-race, like you can kind of go anywhere, but looks like that top's going to be the sketchy one. I said it before. It's going to be sketchy, especially the first couple runs we'll see here. Yeah, just loses it. Thankfully, like you said, doesn't look to be a lot of front end damage, but definitely hurt his ego a little bit trying to keep up with the leaders here.
Yeah, and as we ride on board, I'll put it on the gyro cam. Or where is the 1 second? Oh, where? There we go. You can kind of see right here. He starts turning down the hill, and it just starts to get loose on him right about center, right as he blinks back in. Right here, gets up the track. He's really doing a diamond, and it's hard to diamond this racetrack. You can kind of run the top and then drive down the hill, but it just slowly comes around on him, and it wasn't able to hold. The staggered specials on that one was not able to hold Kevin Ritchie. First caution of the night. Unfortunate. He one of his best qualifying of the season. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a lot of hope for him. We'll see, see if he can rebound here. And I got actually a word from from pit lane that we might not have jinxed him. It might have actually been his own brother. 'Cause supposedly right before that incident, Kyle keyed up on the radio and said that Kevin was digging on it. So yeah, sounds like this maybe not have been a commentator's curse. Might have been a brother curse.
well, anything to get the blame off of us, I will take. But early in this one, Josh took the lead, pulled about a 2 or 3 car gap, and then Jared looked like he ran it hard to make that lead back, and we saw Kevin start working Josh. How much tire saving do you think is going to come to play? And I think that's what Josh was doing. And I know running the bottom at Bristol, it does save a good amount of tires. So do you know what lap the stage is? Because that could also show a lot of how much.
Stage is gonna be at lap 60 tonight. So I'm
Okay.
not sure how much tires maybe come into play here. I mean, like I said, it is really hot, so I think we're gonna see a good amount of tire wear. I mean, I know the Xfinity car can wear out kind of quickly, so especially at a track like this too, pretty abrasive. So especially with all the banking and whatnot, I think they could wear out tires pretty quick. But we'll see what they do to manage here. Not a super long race, only 150 laps, so it's probably gonna fly by here unless we somehow jinx it. But we'll see how tire strategy comes into play here the next couple runs.
Yeah, we will see as the pace car makes that hard left-hander down to pit road. Jared fires back green for Bristol. Lap number 9 restart. Can Jared do anything on the bottom? The top seems to be better racing-wise and on a restart. Just a lot of tracks you see it, especially the bigger tracks you see it. You can kind of just run wide open on the mile and a half and things like that through turn 1 because the restart zone and the speed is lower. But at Bristol, since the speeds are closer to what race speed is, it looks like it is Jared's going to sneak to the outside of Josh. Up around the high side, almost making contact. Move Jared back to lead. He's sideways.
Yeah, not super surprising to see. Once again, they're all over the place. Those cars are. I'm looking. Oh, we got a spinner in the back. 21 of Sam Demian.
Sam around connected with Josh Abney in the back on the back straightaway. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here. So we see Sam on the bottom kind of slips right as Josh slips as well, but he overcorrects just a little bit up in front of Cade. Casey Brown, Tiller into it. Everybody kind of piles into it, but they didn't make contact, just the same corner they happened to get loose on. So Swartz was able to avoid that, kind of shot the middle. But early troubles for a lot of the guys that we expected to see up front at the end of this. Josh and Sam at Darlington drove by there late and got up there, which we've seen that quite a bit from them both in every race this season. So
Yeah, I was gonna say a pretty unfortunate incident there, especially for Sam. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a lazy spin there and a little bit of light contact to the wall, but might have made it out okay if Abney actually hadn't just plowed into the front of his car coming off the wall. I think that's gonna be actually it might be some significant engine damage for him, and definitely some suspension because the rear end of that car just it smacked him. So I think that's gonna hurt him a lot. I think Josh Abney too. That downforce he's gonna lose a little bit too because his rear end I think is looks pretty crunched in. So. Yeah, a couple guys as well getting involved as well. A little bit of contact, maybe not too bad for them, but definitely not as bad as the 21 and the 7 there.
yeah, and we'll see that. I think as the track gets more rubber, I think the cars we'll definitely tighten up and we'll stop seeing these kind of spins. Just kind of not even really their fault. I mean, it is, but with it being as loose and all that, you just kind of seeing the lazy spins down the straightaways. And I think we'll see that kind of be fixed a little bit as we get later in the running in this one with the rubber getting laid down. But yeah, early troubles for a lot of the guys so far.
Yeah, like you said, rubber's going to start laying down. The track temp is actually coming down about 6 degrees from the start of this race. So I guess maybe the sun is actually, yeah, we've actually moved forward 2 hours in sim time just from qualifying alone. So definitely going to start seeing that sun probably go behind the track and lay off the surface, and we'll maybe see the track cool down. I don't know how low we'll actually get, but you can see the shadows right there already forming into 3 and 4 there. So, or sorry, 1 and 2 there. So yeah, we'll see how it affects track temp.
And I think Casey and didn't really see who that was. He's going to go a lap down. Casey and Sam are going to go a lap down, being trapped, not able to get out in front of the pace car. But we're coming back to the green. Lap number 16 restart. A little bit slower restart. Jared gets a little bit better restart. Let's see, can Josh hold it back around the outside? He looks like it. He's going to have the run. Not going to be able to clear down the back straightaway, though. Can he clear on the exit of 3 and 4? Not yet. You have to be really careful on the bottom lane. I know on entry and through the exit, especially exit of 3 and 4, entry of 1 and 2. It's a little loose as we're seeing it from Jared as well. He's able to save it. But as I said that, he's going to be loose on entry now because the right rear is going to be upset with him. Everybody's going to try to go around him.
Those are definitely going to be roasted now.
They're not going to be pretty. And he's going to have to cool him down. He's going to be on the door of Randy, but now he's just got to cool him down. Don't overdrive it. Let the tires just release the heat. Be all good. Drive it in the corner a little bit harder and kind of throw a slider line than just trying to make the corner. It looks like those tires are good now. Just doesn't have the speed in them what he did, but he's going to regroup. And we'll see if he's able to get back up there. It's Josh to the lead. Kyle in second. Nathaniel Landwehr third, Randy in the battle for the 5th spot between Jared Lindsay and Jonathan Swartz. Guy that we're seeing for one of the first times all season. Cade Ferguson running up front here inside the top 10, trying to defend his spot for 7th. As he's going to come up, he's able to clear Joshua. Now Joshua's going to go the inside line. Cade's going to hold the top.
Yeah, it looks to me like we got a decent amount of battles going on every once in a while. Now it's definitely starting to close up a little bit. Cal Rich is trying to pull in Joshua Lawton. He seems to be doing it pretty quickly. Running opposing lines around. Lawton sticking to the top and crossing down towards the bottom. Richie staying towards the bottom for pretty much the entire lap, and it seems to be working out pretty well for him, and it might be better for his tires as well.
Yeah, through my experiences at Bristol, run the bottom just kind of nice and slow right around the inside line. Does save tire. Running the top, it wears it a little bit more. It is a little bit quicker, and I think that's where later in the race we will see when the rubber gets laid down is we're going to have a lapper in the way. Lucas just able to get out of the way, but it's going to help Kyle check up Josh just a little bit. Now to the inside, Kyle Ritchie going for the lead at Bristol.
Yeah, it looks to be that the bottom's actually working quite well. The top still looks pretty quick, but if you can get the entry right, you can gain a lot of time and even make a pass towards the bottom as well.
Yeah, and we saw Kyle. He's kind of working more the middle lane. And Nathaniel's looking to get to Kyle's right rear, but thought better of it. Kyle kind of made Nathaniel pick a choice, either turn me or back out of it, but they're able to survive it, and the top 3 are underneath the blanket.
Yeah, you can see Richie's starting to move his line a little bit. Was towards the bottom, like you mentioned, started moving to the middle, and now he's towards the top. His Lawton's he's gonna touch the wall a little bit. It's gonna slow him up, and Richie's gonna try to get an opportunity here. As Lawton looks like he's struggling a little bit. Those tires are definitely feeling the heat of running that top line. And Landwehr's gonna try to make a move on the bottom of Richie.
Nathaniel's gonna try to roll the inside line. Here comes a run from Kyle. Man, this racetrack's fast. It's right on board. On the roll bar, on the helmet cam with these 3 Toyotas up front. Watching Nathaniel watch Kyle and Josh battle for the lead. Kyle kind of threw a slide job to see if he could fake Josh out just a little bit. This track's racing great right now.
Oh yeah, like I said, these guys are all over the place right now. The cars are slipping and sliding. I know that's going to favor a couple guys in the field who like a looser race car and like to drive the car. It's I know for sure for Richie, it's definitely helping him. I know he loves himself a loose race car, and seems to be working out pretty well for him. He's giving him the business in front of him.
He's definitely giving him the business, I guess, and he's trying to make that move on the bottom work. He's gonna have to build a pretty big run, kind of just swipe right across his back bumper, I think, at the end of the straightaway, and have a big enough run where he misses him and is able to kind of throw that slide job, or Josh make a mistake, but Kyle gets in the wall just a little bit there. Can't be the one to make the mistake himself. Talked about that all season. Don't be the one to make the mistake and cost yourself it.
Yeah, especially with how competitive the field is. We've seen one little mistake and derail your entire race.
As these three kind of get spread out for a moment, we'll go back and look. Is anybody really racing? We got the battle between Kevin Ritchie and Joshua Farmer. Kevin coming back through the field. Got his damage fixed a little bit. And look who's inside the top 10. Mikey Adams running inside the top 10. Him having himself a good little night, following Kevin through the field. You want to get a word in with him while he's under green?
I don't know. I kind of like where he's running right now. I don't really want to jinx him. I know the last couple of times he brought him in here, it's kind of messed with his
It's
psyche
always
a little
entertaining.
bit. So
Yeah, it's always entertaining when he is behind somebody.
yeah, let's let him run this out. Maybe under
All
the stage caution we'll bring him in here. I'd like to see him keep running where he is for now.
See, Kevin really trying to work over the back bumper of Joshua Farmer. Liking that outside line. Both Richies run that top lane to the best of their ability. What is your go-to way to set up a pass here at Bristol, Alex?
I like to do the crossover. It seems to work pretty well for me. Just, aim up high and just cross under down low and just stick it on the bottom and hope it works. A lot of times the guy will just get a little startled and maybe miss his entry a little bit, run up into the wall, and you could get a great exit on the bottom depending on the track state and the temperature. But usually the crossover is the go-to move for me down here.
Well, we're kind of seeing the old guy, I guess. I know I keep calling him the old guy, but it's the best way to describe his driving style. Liking the bottom lane. New Bristol, everybody kind of likes running that top lane as they're almost 3 wide on corner exit. But Randy, run the bottom. He's been slowly reeling in the two in front of him, Nathaniel and Kyle. Run that bottom lane, and it's been working as now Nathaniel goes to the inside of Kyle. But Randy always is able to save his stuff. He runs the bottom. He's always smart about it. And we're seeing it tonight. Like old Bristol, you can kind of run that bottom lane. And I think we'll see that come into play a little bit later. But we'll see it's just all how the rubber gets laid down. What lane gets run in the most. You see Josh, he's like in the top lane, and it is fast. But the battle for 2nd to 5th, we're going to be 3 wide here in a second. We are 3 wide.
Oh, there we are.
What a race here at Bristol.
I was going to say, I definitely don't think the racing earlier helped Nate and Kyle's tire wear there. It helped Randy and Schwartz reel him in a little bit. He's gonna pull a little bit of gap here. I think he's liking what he's seeing in his mirror. But yeah, the guys behind him, 2nd to 5th, starting to battle a bit. Let's see if, like I said, those tires definitely probably not feeling too great on Kyle and Nate's car coming here.
No, I don't think they are, but they're doing just as good as we're starting to come up on some lap traffic. Joshua able to get around Sam, catching Michael and Tiller. But Kyle really
too.
Yeah, Kyle's kind of losing a lot of time, though. He's dropped now to 5th. So Kyle, possibly running that top lane, has burned off his tires a little bit. And now he's going to have to try to figure out how to regroup. As Schwartz is going to go to the top side, how big of a run does he get? He's going to sneak to Randy's right rear. That was a little bit closer than what I think Randy would have thought. Ripping the high side. Now Sam's going to be on the top. Where does he go? Randy's going to try to box him in. Three wide. They touch.
Oh.
Able to save it. And Swartz able to clear.
Yeah, I was gonna say another thing I forgot to mention earlier is traffic. I always forget that traffic's really easy to accumulate here. It's obviously it's a really short track and really quick too. And if you're not on the pace, you get lapped within the first 10, 15 laps of the race. But yeah, we're already seeing it here. It's gonna be something these guys are gonna have to navigate and try not to make a mistake. Sometimes guys get a bit flustered in traffic and tend to make just a little bit of too much of a mistake, and it'll cost them, especially if they're running up front.
And we'll see that all night long. And we don't have more. There's only a 19 car field, so there's really not that many cars as what we normally have been having with the 30 car field. So not as much lap traffic as what there probably would be normally. But Joshua's going to have to do all he can to try to hold them off behind and make his way through the traffic. So it's going to be a fun one to watch how he manages it as we're coming up to 7 laps to go in the stage.
Yeah, so far starting to spread out just a little bit. Like you said before, I don't think traffic affected them too much. Maybe a little bit with Randy and Schwartz, but yeah, gaps are starting to spread a bit, especially Kyle Ritchie. I think those tires are definitely gone. Definitely gonna be grabbing a new set of rubber when he comes into the pits here. We got about 5-6 laps until we hit that stage caution, and looks like, I mean, I'm not the jinx, but looks like Lawton's gonna take himself hopefully easy stage win if he can keep
As
himself
he
out of
gets
the
out
wall
of the
here,
wall,
'cause,
yeah.
yeah, oh god, here we go again. Once again, another commentator's curse week.
Well, as you, Jesse's right in the wall, right in front of him, able to keep it kind of out of Josh's way. As Nathaniel's, well, he's going to run the bottom here to get around the lapper. Get around Jesse Brooks. Jesse just trying to stay out of the way. Randy still run the bottom. Jonathan Swartz is still run the top. Nathaniel likes the top. Okay. I'm kind of trying to see where everybody likes running so far.
I don't know, man. So far, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to say that Lawton's definitely liking the top way more than he is the bottom. But for everybody else, it's kind of hard to tell. Everybody's kind of everywhere. They're
Nathaniel's
changing
middle.
lines, seeing where the rubber is,
Yeah.
trying to find any grip
Smoke.
they can.
It may have just been Michael getting the wall. I saw smoke right in front of Josh. As we saw what Swartz did last week for the stage at Bristol, tried to get Randy in there at the end of it. But now the battle for second is Nathaniel's going to get in the wall. He bounces off it just a little bit. Swartz is going to run him up. Nathaniel in the wall close. They're not going to catch Josh, so I think they kind of thrown that out the window. Now they're going to go after each other. Nathaniel on the top side. Jonathan Swartz on the inside. Down the backstretch. Into 3 and 4, though. Joshua Lawton. He's going to let Michael keep his lucky dog. Or keep on the lead lap. And Joshua Lawton is going to win the, what is it? I guess the stage. He's going to win the stage at Bristol once a few cars pass. There we go. Little battle there for a second. A little bit of contact. So we'll see, see that's teammates as well. But overall, not too bad of first stage for everybody.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's been a lot of good racing so far. As long as everybody can keep it clean, the tires are definitely something to worry about for sure. And you know, well, I don't know. I was gonna say it's kind of surprising. I thought we were gonna see a little bit more chaos, but yeah, so far looking good for a lot of the field.
Yeah, we're gonna see how much you know tires matter here. As I'm pretty sure everybody's going to come down pit road, so that's not going to be a factor.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of it, where is everybody going to be at? We're going to see as everybody's coming down pit road. You wanna interview Mikey here?
Yeah, let me see how final
Drag him in because I know Bristol caution laps are quick.
Yeah. Mikey, welcome to the booth. You got a copy, my man.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
How you feeling, my man? We saw you running not too bad so far. How you feeling with Bristol?
I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. I've been surprising myself with the short tracks this year, and car's feeling nice. I'm about to put 4 new tires on it, put a little bit of fuel in it. Just feeling good, you know. And look at that, boys! I got pit road while talking to you. Look at that!
Look he's getting better every week. He actually made pit road.
Hey, I just want to say, by the way, I hate what happened to that man Abney. I'm gonna do him proud. I'm gonna get this playoff going. Hopefully we get a good spot and we do good for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I know you mentioned something about the tires before. How are they feeling? We saw, I mean, had a really good long green flag run there. Tell me about the tires. How are they feeling so far?
They felt really good on the start of the run. About 30 something laps in for me, it felt a little bit like wear was coming, but I was still able to hit a good line. But about towards the stage caution, it was starting to get a little bit loose on me. But I feel like we could have went past 60 on the tires there, but I wasn't gonna risk it. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna say, like I said, not too bad for you at the stage there. Yeah, just keep it
oh
going.
yeah,
You guys got
by the way, hell of a move by Mozilla to get that stage point. Hell of a move.
I was gonna say, we saw, I actually caught that pass there. Not a bad move. Let's see if you could pay him back here and try to make your way towards the field. Not running too bad to the top 10.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us in the booth, my man. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
So good little talk with Mikey. As the last 85 laps, we're back green for the regular season finale. Who's going to make the playoffs? We're going to find out now.
Oh, Jared Lindsay spins in the back.
Oh, contact on the back straightaway between Swartz. Swartz is going to be sideways. He should be able to save that. Who'd you say spun down the back? My bad.
It was Jared Lindsay. Oh, he took a massive hit there. Just I was looking towards the back of the field on the restart here because I thought the restart looked a bit interesting there. Everybody looked kind of spread out. Oh, he just gets turned by I don't even know who that is.
That's
And the Burger King
Cade.
car, Cade Ferguson, just turns him around. Very unfortunate there.
Michael
And he
nowhere
gets,
to go.
Oh,
Big
gets
crunch.
hit by the 82 right there. Very unfortunate for
hit?
him. I think
No.
that's gonna be some heavy engine damage for him. And
Yeah, take a
not
look.
great.
I mean, definitely was tight. I think he was probably clear for about half a second. Just didn't fully commit to it, and Cade was definitely down there, and then Cade just tried to spin him around to try to keep him out of traffic, but nowhere for Michael to go. Jared's going to have some front end damage, so.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very unfortunate for him. Might be a decent trip down pit lane. Try to keep himself hopefully under a lap down, but with how much damage he could have, see how much it affects him. Very unfortunate for him. He just kind of just a bystander in that incident. He can't really do much. He's just got a guy trying to shove it down to the bottom. Just not enough room for him to fit.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt a little bit, but still not as bad as damage as what I would have thought. A little bit of left rear and a little bit of front, but still not too bad.
Yeah, we have noted that these cars are kind of tanks in some situations, so I mean, not super surprising if he doesn't have too much damage. It could just be mostly cosmetic, but yeah, we'll see if the tanks can hold up as well as they have in the last couple of weeks.
So that's going to restack him for another restart. We've seen the top come into play a lot here. Not a great restart for Nathaniel. Swartz able to get back to second. So we'll see what lane Joshua picks. And where does, who gets the good restart? It's going to be, I think, who challenges Josh. He's great at saving tire while having the speed. We've seen it in that first run. But who's going to be the one to challenge him and make sure that he's going to have to probably wear the tires a little bit to stick with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think, never mind. Just as I say that, it looks like he's going to actually take the bottom. I thought he was going to take the top here because he's been really good there. But different opponent this time on his outside, so who knows how it's going to actually end up when coming to the green and whether or not he'll actually be able to get as good of a jump. But yeah, I guess he's going to want the bottom this time around.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked about that because he likes the top lane and he's been running it, but we'll see. Kind of an advantage, especially here at Bristol where the restart zone is, as they get back into the restart zone. Josh fires. Maybe he doesn't need the advantage. Josh clear by 2 cars in turn number 1.
Yeah, what does he immediately do? He's going to bring that car up towards the wall, try to diamond it off, and get as good of a run as he can. Try to leave as many people as he can behind him as... Landwehr is going to try to make a move. Ooh, Schwartz is going to hit the wall there on the front stretch.
Cade Ferguson working that outside line. He's going to get to the outside of Randy for 4th. So Cade making the top line work. Josh and Cade, the only 2 to be working the outside lane right now. Joshua Farmer a little bit back. Mikey inside the top 6. as they make a little bit of contact down the back straightaway. There's so much going on. I can't get it all. Here comes Kyle, and both Richies are coming back to it.
Say, I'm not sure what happened on that last that original pit stop at the stage, but Kyle Richards moved back quite a bit. I don't know if he just had a bad pit stop or missed his box or something, but yeah, he's definitely gonna have to work just a little bit harder. He's gonna go past our favorite guy from in the series, Mikey Adams.
In-race broadcaster, he's gonna maybe make a little bit of contact there, but stayed off him. Mikey gonna get to the outside wall, but Kyle able to get by it, move him to 6th. Now we're gonna see a challenge for the lead. Jonathan Swartz is all over the back bumper of Joshua Lawton.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place right now, trying the bottom, trying the middle, and trying the top. And looks like the bottom's working most well for him. I saw towards the first couple of laps of the restart that he was moving on the bottom, getting a really good exit off, especially off of 2, like he's gonna try to do now, and try to set up the pass for 3 and 4. And seems to be working pretty well. He's going to dive under him and try to keep his momentum to stay on his door, and he's going to slip back just a little bit. Hopefully try not to race too hard, because he's got Cade Ferguson right in his mirror. Good challenge for the lead here.
Yeah, Cade actually having a great run. Well, we're not going to say anything. Cade, he's up here, and he's doing an awful job here at the moment, running P3. But, yeah, actually got a 3-car battle with 2 new cars that we've seen that weren't up there in the first stage, and we're actually seeing them both maybe have a little bit more speed than Josh.
Yeah, those tires are definitely starting to kick in now. Like I said before, we're seeing the bottom line starting to roll just a little bit more. I believe the track temp has come down too, so that bottom line might start to roll in just a little bit more than the top has been working. But Lawton's still keeping himself up front and not letting Schwartz just make any move.
Which could be a strategy play. Maybe Josh thinks the opposite. Maybe tires on the bottom burn more, so he's pinning him on the bottom. But nobody's pulling a big gap, and then we're seeing just behind them 2, Randy, Nathaniel, Kyle, Joshua Farmer's still on the outside, but Kevin's on the bottom. So everybody else kind of just running that bottom lane and possibly saving tire or just logging laps. Joshua Farmer, that's tight. That's tight. This track is one of the more interesting tracks on how it races, as we can kind of see the battle for the lead still up front. We see this one going on, riding on board with Farmer as he's getting that big run on the corner exit. I just want to show this because he's been running the top most of the race, especially behind somebody. Is he going to get in the wall there? As he's still running the outside line. Hasn't been able to get there, but he's slowly creeping up more and more, and he's having to brake a little bit earlier than what he'd like going into the corner because he's got to stay off the car in front. He's going to clear Kyle, now trying to work the outside of Nathaniel. But we'll see how much as he's going to get in the wall, middle of the racetrack. No! Jesse not able to avoid him through the smoke. As that is going to bring out... Oh, never mind, that's pace car. I thought that was somebody. I was like, no, how do you not see him?
I was like, I hope they see a car there. For a second, I also thought the base car was an actual car. But
up in the marbles.
Yeah, up top. I was literally just getting ready to say that top is rolling. I could tell he was definitely starting to push just a little bit too much, honestly, because I saw that car get a bit sideways mid-corner, and I think he might have just burned his rubber just a little bit too much there. It definitely looked like he was pushing quite a lot and just lost the car on the exit there.
And we'll go here. Let's go and look. So when you see Josh here, riding on board with Josh, when he's around the top, same thing with Cade, enters just above that kind of seam right there where Josh's right rear is. Kind of see, then they wash up to the corner. As Cade, he actually got sideways that he did. But on this corner extra, Josh had to stay... He couldn't do that to drive it in the corner a little bit harder, and then got way up by the wall into the kind of marbles, and that's what upset it. And then Kyle was there, innocent bystander. Kevin barely able to avoid it, but Josh hard into the wall, and is nowhere for these guys to go. Casey trying to avoid it. Did Casey avoid that? He did.
Oh, yeah.
He was sideways getting to it. A little bit of contact with Tiller, but you'll have that with with some short track racing, but Casey did a good job avoiding it. Just Josh, nowhere for him to go. So everybody kind of come down pit road, actually. Not
Yeah, I was gonna
shocked, but
say
kind of am.
I think everybody's gonna take a fresh set here. Like I said, not super surprising. We obviously we've seen how much the tire wear could definitely affect, and even for such a short run, I think having the most fresh tires you can is probably the best idea. Is we're probably gonna have about 59, 58 laps to go with the green. I don't think they can make it from here. I don't think the fuel tank's that big, so I think we're gonna hopefully get another pit stop if we continue to run green here. I'm sure they're gonna at least take another set. I think it's about 4 sets they get, so I'm sure they're gonna want to save one for towards the end of the race here.
Yeah, I do think the tire strategy could come to play with a late race caution, maybe. Maybe if we run like 10 or so green here, 10 or 15, somebody might pit, most of the field might stay out. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to change up a lot here as we get into the later runnings, but pace car lights are out. We're going to get back on green here for a lap 90 restart.
Yeah, just to let you know before we go green, they actually have 5 sets of tires, so this is gonna be very interesting. I think strategy is coming to play is we're gonna go green.
Yeah, we'll see as the next caution comes out later, if so. But Josh fires and gets a great restart, able to clear once again. Now Nathaniel on the move. Can he clear? He does. Kind of wiggles and gets up the racetrack. We're going to zoom out all the way so we can see a majority of the field. Somebody blew up. I don't know if that was on the front stretch, but I heard it.
I believe that's actually somebody in pit lane. I think that actually might be the 18 of Jared Lindsay.
Jared Lindsay, all right. Was wondering what happened there. I feel like it happens once a race, but battle for the lead between Jonathan Swartz and Joshua Lawton. A lot of J's up at the front between those two. Similar names, but kind of far away as we got a yellow, as that is Mikey. No, Mikey. Oh. What happened here? All by himself on the front straightaway. He was able to catch it, actually, with a great save.
Oh, wow.
He's going to be proud of that one, as Sam barely able to avoid it. Sam then drifts turn 1 just to look cool. Back up the racetrack, and then Mikey back into him.
Mikey.
What a half a lap for Mikey. What a half a lap.
Had a great save, and I don't think he was expecting Sam to spin out as much as he did there. That's unfortunate. I think that's also going to be his engine quite toast, unfortunately. Speaking of engines, that was actually the 10 of Jesse Brooks sitting in pit lane with a blown engine. So, although Jared Lindsay is no longer in the race, so that's not going to be great for him, especially for the points, because he's going to want to stay as high as he can. He's had a pretty good, I believe he's still top 5 in points. Hopefully this doesn't drop him too far. He shouldn't drop past the top 12, but yeah, no longer in the race is Josh Abney, Jared Lindsay, Luke Salvez, Jesse Brooks, Joshua Farmer is no longer as well, and yeah, I believe Sam, that's going to be some pretty big damage for him. So
Yeah,
that might...
Mikey's a little hurt. The steering wheel's 180 degrees, so
he
might
like
be done.
McQueen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He looks like the guy that says, put me back in, or get me back out there. Ooh, as we have pit stops. Swartz and Nathaniel down to pit road. Same thing with Tiller. Michael as well. Lucas, all on pit road. So, a strategy call. We're seeing these guys think tires are more important than, or fuel. It could be fuel call as well, but more likely tires is a bigger factor than track position.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, funny enough, I forgot that you could test drive while you're actually in the race session. So I'm currently sitting on pit lane inside of our test car here. You can go 135 laps on fuel, so guess fuel might not even be a thing anymore for these guys. It's going to just be a tire strategy for the most part. I don't know, I just watched the field go by me. Nice little view here. So I have no idea how many laps we're going to have till the green here, but let's see. I'll try to give it a quick rundown as we about to go green. Joshua Lawton, your majority race leader. He's led almost all the laps in this entire race, running himself pretty well. Randy Arms in second. Kyle Ritchie making his way back up to third, trying to challenge for the win. Kevin Ritchie back on his outside, so we got an all Ritchie second row. Jonathan Mazzella rounding out your top 5. Kate Ferguson in 6th. Landon Quisenberry 7th. Jonathan Schwartz 8th. Nathaniel Landry, your points leader in 9th. And Casey Brown rounding out the top 10 as we're about to go green.
as Joshua fires. Great restart for him once again. A little bit better restart than we've seen from a person in second all race. As Randy actually takes the alternate strategy as Schwartz through the middle. What was that move? Right through the middle of Mozilla and Cade. As Schwartz is really rolling that outside line, he's trying to get up to Josh and make sure that he's not able to use those older tires. I guess, Josh being the Hoosier tire guy here on the West Coast, he knows how tires work, so he could save enough to where that overcomes Schwartz. And if he's able to do that, he's definitely the tire whisperer.
Yeah, once again, like I said before, Joshua Lawton trying to keep the lead as much as he can. Like, still running the top. Seems to be his preferred choice, especially now that the rubber's laid down. I'm sure he's probably laid most of that rubber. As he's going to try, Randy's going to try to make a move. He's not getting as great of a run as I thought he would off the exit of 4, though. Not getting a bad entry into 1 and 2. Just not able to roll the momentum off the corner as Jonathan Schwartz is going to get a little loosey-goosey behind Kyle Ritchie and made himself a pretty good save there, trying to keep it straight. As Cade Ferguson's going to go around the outside of him.
Yeah, it's Cade. His best run that we've seen from him all season. Ran the Burger King throwback last week. And I think he needs to keep the king on the car, because whatever's fueling that thing, if it's burgers, it's definitely rolling. But into the top 5, here comes Kevin as well, back into the top 6. He's looking for 5th on Jonathan Schwartz, who actually just set his fastest lap of the race a few laps ago. But actually, the pace has fallen off for Schwartz. He's running 6s now. 5s that last lap, so I think he's realized, hey, I got the better tires. I tried using them for a few laps. It's not helped me drive by these guys. Let me back off and try to save a little bit. He already has the few lap fresher, so why not just save a little bit more as well? And I don't know. We'll see if that comes into play. But I think that's what we're seeing him do.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely pushed those tires just a little bit too much. I know they were a little bit fresher, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you push them just a bit too hard, it's not going to end up too well for you. As he's starting to hold up a couple of the guys behind him, just trying to keep. I believe he's in 5th right now. Yeah, trying to keep 5th, but Kevin Ritchie dropping back just a little bit. Maybe the pace falling off for a couple other guys behind him as well. As the battle for the top 4, all guys. Pretty much within a blanket. Is Cade Ferguson still going to try to run the outside? Not like you said, not sure what's in that car today, but definitely should keep the Burger King car. Might not be motor oil in there. Might be vegetable oil or peanut oil or something in there. So he's going to try to roll the outside again to try to make a pass on Cal Ritchie, and yeah, I think he's going to get him here, and
he's going to clear him on exit 4 right here.
On Randy Arms. Yeah, there he goes.
So, Cade up a few spots, driven by Kyle. As Randy's going to lose a little bit of time, he might be able to go for 2nd here.
Yeah, he's having himself a day so far. See if he can do himself a couple spots better.
Yeah, a little bit loose there, but just trying to hold on to it. As Josh still the leader. We got 40 to go. What's this going to come down to? We see Nathaniel hasn't really made up that many spots. Want to do a quick rundown of the field?
Yeah, let's go through it. Alrighty. Like I said before, Joshua Lawton, still your leader, running pretty much the head guy for majority of this race is Randy Arms, challenging him right behind him in 2nd place. Cade Ferguson having himself a great night tonight, up 4 spots from a starting position, hopefully trying to catch the leaders. As Kyle Ritchie having a decent night himself as well in that gorgeous purple paint scheme I made him. Jonathan Schwartz right behind him, still with probably a little bit of burned off tires there. The 2nd Ritchie brother currently in 6th, so we got a spinner in the back.
Spinner, front straightaway. Actually, the teammate from Cade in the other Burger King car, lazy spin on the front straightaway. He's going to go for a spin. So I think that really hurts, that hurts Schwartz's and Nathaniel's tire strategy for this one. Because I'm assuming everybody now is going to come down pit road.
Yeah, I think at this point, I was actually going to mention before, they might honestly, if they were going to run green to split the rest of the race, it might have been 25 laps apiece on each run. Would have been great, but strategy is definitely going to be a bit different here because at this point, track position is pretty much everything, along with those tires. So if you try to split the rest of the race, it might not work out too well, as you could just be towards the back of the field and won't have enough time to use the tires. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of guys take tires here, but try to run the rest of the race out on those same sets, unless we get a really late race caution to where we maybe go to overtime, and then they use that last set they'll have to try to rip around as quick as they can. So as we see, the 66 of Landwehr opts to stay out, along with Ryan Tiller, who is
Tiller's
2
a
laps
lap
down.
down.
So
Yeah, he's a
unfortunately
lap
not very
down.
much, but
Lucas is. That messed up Tiller's strategy. Tiller ain't going to be too happy with Nathaniel, but Nathaniel stays out. Always one of the guys that is on a different strategy, it seems like. But the pit road battle, we'll see who wins it. Everybody into the box, okay. Let's see. Nobody taking 2. Swartz is going to line him up in the back there. Randy, great pit stop. I think Josh may have missed the box a little bit, but Randy wins the race off pit road. Then Josh, Cade, Kyle, Jonathan, Kevin. Well, this one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, very quick stop from Randy there. Kind of surprised to see him go that quickly. I mean, I'm sure fuel didn't have anything to do with it, since I think they're, like I said, they're good to basically for the end of the race, but just got a quicker pit crew, I guess. Yeah. Unfortunately, he won't be lining up in the lead, as Landwehr did opt to stay out, so he's going to be second. He's not going to have the preferred lane choice of that he wants, but we'll see with the fresher tires, which I believe might be about 10-15 laps that he's going to have on Nate here. Might be able to rip the outside here on the green.
So, new front row, and the first time for a restart, it's not going to be Joshua Lawton as the leader. Nathaniel fires. We'll see if he's able to hold him off, able to get up in front of Randy. Randy's going to go low in front of Josh. That was a little bit closer. Into the back of him. Randy's going to get sideways. He's able to save it. Into the door, Nathaniel. We're all over the place. Josh to the lead.
Yeah, bit of a messy restart by a lot of these guys here. Nathaniel did not get the jump he wanted on Randy, and Randy was able to slide it in, as everybody behind him is going to get loose, especially Nate. Those tires starting to feel it now. He's going to keep running the wall, and Randy's going to squeeze it 3 wide here, try to make it through the middle of Schwartz and Landwehr.
Nathaniel's really struggling on the old tires. We saw him go into 1. I think he tried to get in the back of Josh, not appreciating Randy getting hit into him. But now he's going to drop through the field a little bit, as everybody else is try to work by him. As Kyle's going to be loose right in front of his brother. Maybe there was contact, able to save it. He does. Was there contact?
Yes, it looks to me there was. Oh,
nope,
never mind.
Not
Just
when he got loose.
and
Just
he
a
got
little
assisted.
sideways. Little save there between the Richies, and I think the Richie household might need some diapers after that one.
Oh yeah, and especially since they're sitting about 2 inches away from each other, I don't think there's going to be a great conversation between the 2 of them after the end of this race.
They just both turned around, hit each other. As we're most going to be 3 wide for the 4th spot. Cade's going to clear Nathaniel. Now Kevin going to try to clear Nathaniel. He does on that bottom. He does. Able to get up, move him to the top lane. Nathaniel's really struggling. We saw him enter high there behind Kevin, and they both got in the wall, entering that way up line. So, but as I say that, battle for the lead. Old friends that know each other, have known each other for a little while. Randy and Josh battle for the lead once again.
Yeah, once again, common trend. Joshua Lawton staying towards the top, not running the bottom very much, as Randy's seems to be a common trend with him. Just decides to run towards the bottom and get as much of a run as he can off. It's not looking to work too well for him. He's able to get side by side with a mid corner, just can't keep them on exit just like you can on the high side. And so far, the top 4 currently within about a second and a half of each other. starting to create a bit of a gap to the guys behind in 5th, as we see Landwehr still dropping back. He's the guy holding up the rest of the field actually right now, as those tires are probably pretty much gone at this point.
Oh, Kevin again!
Oh,
Around all on his own. Caution with 20 laps to go.
looks to be another lazy spin here. He just runs towards the top and tries to cross over under another car, and I think the wake there
look where he entered.
Didn't help him.
Above that top seam, he entered right above it, kind of rode on it, and as it rotated through the corner, spun around on him.
Yeah, not a place you want to be running, especially this late in the race. Look, you can run towards the top, but I don't think you want to enter that high. So very unfortunate for him. He's starting to make his way through the field, and very unfortunate for him. As we're going to see a couple guys come down pit road, actually pretty much most of the field, and Jonathan Schwartz is going to stay out. Very interesting strategy call from him. Could be the fact that a lot of these guys, this could be their last set. I presume a lot of the guys are going to take tires here. So this, I believe this will, if I remember correctly, yes, this probably will be their last set of tires. So they're going to have to take care of them. We're probably going to go green with about 16, 17 to go. So, we'll see how these guys handle. Fresh tires.
Staying out is definitely an interesting strategy. We saw how well it worked out for Nathaniel. It's pretty much the same situation that Schwartz is in now. I don't see, unless it goes constant yellows here, yellow after yellow, and maybe he lucks into a green-white checker and is able to hold them off. I don't know how that strategy works. We saw how bad the tires were there anyway.
Cade's going to win the race off pit road there from Lawton. Randy right behind him. Landwehr opting to take tires with, I can't tell exactly who that is. I think it's the 41 of Mazzella behind him in that DuPont scheme. Yeah, like you said, I don't know if that was the right move for Schwartz, especially because any laps on these tires matter, and they'll start wearing those tires down immediately. So I don't think that was the right call for him there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him slip towards the mid pack on this restart here.
Yeah, we'll see how that kind of comes into play. It's going to be an interesting strategy. We're going to get back going, like you said, with 16 laps to go. But also, Landon maybe stayed out? Landon stayed out. He last pitted the same lap as Schwartz is. I think pace car lights are off. Yeah, pace car lights are off. They're all trying to figure out what way to go and how to line back up. But new front row, Jonathan Schwartz and Landon Quisenberry with Cade coming off of the pit road first. Let's see how this one comes into play. Restart with 16 laps to go. Jonathan fires, back green. Josh tried to get through or down. Kind of has to shoot the middle between all the Burger King cars. That's going to stack up Nathaniel. And here comes Josh and Cade on the bottom. Josh able to clear. Quisenberry into the back of Randy.
Surprisingly good start from Schwartz. He was able to get a good jump off the line, but I don't know. Those tires definitely look to have run their course. He's all over the place right now. Has already tapped the wall once, and it was a decent hit too. Cause he does it again.
Nathaniel struggling on these tires, but we're gonna see a change for the lead or a battle for it. Josh battle for the lead. Can Schwartz hold him off on the top line? 13 laps to go here at Bristol. Schwartz has to keep it out of the wall. He's getting the good run on the corner exit. Just can't get on the wall, like I said. And Josh is going to throw a slide job. He's going to be clear. Schwartz is going to bounce it off the wall. He's into it. Cade's going to shoot the middle. Quisenberry spinning down the back straightaway, and we're going to have a caution.
Oh, man, I saw as soon as the exit of that corner happened, I had a feeling something was going to happen. Schwartz he basically scraped the wall the whole way around there, and yeah, not a great exit. Oh, I don't know if he's moving up the field to show his displeasure with. Oh yeah, showing his displeasure with Josh Lawton here.
I missed that.
Yeah, I don't think he's very happy with him.
So yeah, we see it on the replay. Lawton threw kind of a slider. I think he would have cleared him just right on the bottom, but tried to make sure he got up. Then in the outside wall, and as that was all going on, Quisenberry by himself on the top just lost her. Maybe saw it as Kevin gets into him. Kevin, another incident. Not Kevin's fault. But as Swartz, yes, he does go up there, show his displeasure a little bit with the 40. So interesting plays here. Late race, short track racing.
I think tempers are starting to show a little bit, like we saw with Shorts showing his displeasure. Not very happy with getting pinched up into the wall there, but like you said, it's Bristol. We're racing with about less than 15 laps to go. Kind of have to give it whatever you can, especially with like we've mentioned the entire race, how valuable these tires are. You got to use them when you can, and just hope that you can retain a position without burning them off too hard. Yeah, as I don't think Schwartz is gonna let that leave his mind if he can get back up to Lawton. He's got a couple cars to try to pass to get to him on the restart, but we'll see if I'm sure he'll remember that coming to the green.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe he might come down pit road after staying out right there, possibly to have an extra set or whatever, and just try it. But it's too late now with only like 9, probably 7, 8 to go. When you get back going, it just wouldn't work. So he's going to be 4th for restart if he's able. I thought he was going to line up. Josh, I'm assuming he's going to pick the bottom. He's done it every time. If he lined up 4th, Schwartz could kind of pull a Sam Mayer and get into the back of him as he rolls into the zone, but doesn't look like that's going to be the opportunity. So Randy and Cade, do they have anything to beat Joshua Lawton? He's led over 100 laps in this one, been the most dominant car all night. Can he hold him off for a last 7-lap shootout? Seven laps to go here at Bristol. Josh fires. We're back green. Josh immediately moving to the high side. Here comes, well, Cade with a big run on the outside of Randy. They got it clear. Here comes Nathaniel, 3 wide in the middle. Kyle Ritchie on the outside is Swartz. 3 wide at Bristol. Nathaniel backs out of it. Here comes Cade with an opportunity. Run the top line. He's been even with Josh every time. Run the outside line. He gets the run through the center. He's to his back bumper. Cade with an opportunity with 5 laps to go here at Bristol. He's going to turn down the hill. Has the run. Can't make the move yet. Here comes Randy. Josh into the corner deep. Up the hill. Gets the good run on exit. I don't think that they're going to be able to unless they move him. They got to hit him.
Yeah, with only about 5 to go, he's gonna have to try to do something here. Try to catch him off guard. Do something that we haven't seen tonight. He's just trying. He's inching slowly, just getting right to his bumper, but he's not getting the run he wants.
Not getting the run he wants right now. Just all over him. Just hasn't been able to make that move stick yet. He's all over the back bumper though. As even Kyle Ritchie, he's coming into this battle. It's a 4-car battle for the win here at Bristol. Everybody's on the top side. Kyle's going to get a little bit loose. Randy's sideways. And we're coming to the white flag, or 2 to go. Randy sideways.
Yeah, slides definitely aren't going to help him try to make a move.
No, I think those 2 are out of it. Cade on the outside wall. He's trying his hardest. Willing and dealing here at Bristol. He's driving into the corner hard. 1 lap to go for Joshua Lawton. Can he hold off Cade? Cade with a big slide. Through 3 and 4, or down the backstretch for the final time. Joshua Lawton been so dominant all night. Runs that high side. He's going to come off to turn number 4, and he's going to win it here at Bristol. With Kyle with a big slide. Swartz able to hold off for a top 5. Nathaniel an 8th place finish. So that's going to change up the running order in the points a lot as well. Good points day for Randy, I guess, with the top 3. I don't think that's going to help him overcome that. But if you want to tell the top 3 to park on the front stretch, Alex, please, because I know that you're in the thing.
Yeah, let's
Don't
see
reset.
here if I could get anybody. See if I can get anybody to
Join the chats and just yell at him before Cade stops. Oh, you already did. It's fine.
Oh, that's fortunate.
All right.
I
Who you
forgot
want to
that
do
my
first?
text to chat doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's bring the newcomer in. He's brand new to the series. Let's bring him in. First start for him, and he's gonna take his first win as well. See if I can find him out. He's right in the broadcast waiting
Yep.
room already. Let's bring him in.
I drug him on in there.
Josh, newcomer to the series, my man. Congratulations on your first win. Tell me about your race.
Thanks, man. A lot of cautions. I didn't want to see all the cautions. That kind of sucked. Trying to go back here and see what exactly happened with Swartz there. I felt like I had him clear getting in, and he was just trying to stay there. And we made some contact, but I think we had the fastest car all night. I really wanted to run the bottom. I was just kind of where I committed in practice, and then every time I did, Jared would just jump to my outside. So I was like, screw it, I'll just run the top, and worked out.
Yeah, I was gonna say the most dominant car tonight, leading over 100 laps to this race. Funny enough that you mentioned that you wanted to run the bottom, as I barely saw you. I think you touched the bottom maybe twice this
I
entire
like you went to
race,
the
but-
bottom to pass. Other than that,
yeah, that was about
because you
it.
had to.
But
Yeah, that first run, I at the end I tried to run the bottom, and my lap times I think were a little bit better than the guys behind me on long runs. But I knew I had it in the bank for the long run. But the top, if you give up your outside, you're just so vulnerable getting off the corner that I just kind of committed there. And man, I hated to see all them cautions. I love green flag racing at Bristol. I just get in a really good rhythm there. I think he kind of saw it there at the before the stage break. We were starting to pull away from him. The guys were wearing their tires out, and I just have a good rhythm here on how to save the tires and still run as hard as I need to.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah,
of
keep-
speaking about tires, since you are the tire guy, what was your thoughts on the tires and how did they hold up, and what lane did you feel like saved the best tire? Because I know kind of came down to a tire strategy at the end with Swartz staying out. You had to get clear kind of through a slide job, but how did the tires hold up, and what was kind of your plan heading into the race to save the tires and keep them underneath you?
I just try and keep the car straight and not overuse the right front. It was using the right rear a little more up on top. But I mean, I think the bottom would have been better, but we never got a long enough run, and I never felt comfortable to go down there and keep after it because I know it works. As far as last time I ran here, I know it works. But yeah, I went to go throw a slide job on him, and I get it. He's trying not to give up the lead, and I left him a lane. And he just kind of drove it up in the fence at that point. So I'm just watching a replay here. Yeah, he just kind of drove himself in the fence. So I mean, I was aggressive trying to get by him because I knew he was going to be, and I had him clear going in the corner, and I was sliding up, and I know he just probably was trying to throttle up, get back to my outside, and yeah, he still had a lane out there, and he drove himself in the wall. So I'm not going to be too mad about that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it's I believe it's your first start in the series. Able to end it off with a win. Like I said, we saw you being the most dominant car tonight. Make some great moves, play some great tire strategy, and show us what Bristol's all about. We saw a lot of great racing throughout the field tonight, and nice to see somebody new in victory lane. So go ahead and get your shout outs in, my man.
Really, I'm independent, man. Thank you guys for broadcasting the race. Thanks to SpeedZone eSports for putting on the league. I've been part of the league all year. I just busy with work and just not having the want to get on. So I haven't fired up the cockpit in about 2 months. So I decided to do it, and I love Bristol and glad we were coming out with W.
Oh, well, great to see some new faces in here, my man. Congrats on the win again, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
All right, sounds good.
Good job, Josh. So Josh going to be one race, one win on the season for Josh. Let's bring in, I guess you could say, the up-and-comer, I guess, kind of out of nowhere. Didn't want to jinx him earlier, so I said he was doing a bad job, but he was damn moving. Cade Ferguson with a P2.
No.
Cade, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry about that. I forgot I had that thing on.
You're good.
Yeah, you want to go over with this one, Cade?
You got it.
We'll take
You got it.
too. All right, well, Cade, new face to see you towards the top 5 today. Tell me about your race, my man.
Well, I don't actually know how where I pulled the speed out of because in practice it was like spinning every other lap. But I ran like a 3 in qualifying. I was like, maybe like if I just take care of the rears or whatever, I might have something. And then yeah, it was just kind of a battle of just not hitting the wall, not hitting anybody, and not wrecking myself.
I was gonna say, yeah, we saw a lot of action today, a lot of tire strategy come into play. We saw you at the end there, closing the gap. Do you think you had anything in it left to try to catch Joshua at the end there?
I think so. My biggest concern is I didn't want my first win to be like a wreck. So there was definitely a few times I feel like if I could have nudged him or whatever. And I was also kind of watching where Randy was, and that probably cost me a little bit because like there's a few times I think it was like 5 to 6 ago. I peeked out a little bit because I noticed he kind of rubbed the wall, but I was so worried about like if I got side by side that Randy was just gonna plug the hole, and then I was gonna lose out that battle entirely.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, like I said before, saw a lot of action, saw a lot of tire strategy, saw the lanes moving around. We saw you, top, bottom, middle. You were kind of all over the place. We wasn't sure exactly what the lines were gonna be tonight, but other than that, just thoughts on your race as a whole, and just from start to finish. I know we saw some cautions there, and some of your thoughts on that, and some of your thoughts on the wrecks we had towards the end of the race there too. Did that affect you at all, or?
Um, I mean, it definitely like kind of threw the wrench in the hole. Like, do I pit now or do I think I'm gonna wait for another wreck? As far as the lines go, every time I come to Bristol, I just assume I'm running the fence. It's where I like to run anyways. But yeah, it's really just like, well, this guy's in the fence, so let me try this line or whatever. And I felt like the leaders, I honestly, with them running the bottom, that might have been the fastest strategy. But I feel like you were just killing the tires, and the car really didn't like it when the banking was flattened out.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna
like
say,
for me, it was just saving that right rear and you keeping it off the wall.
yeah, I was gonna say we saw a lot of guys kind of go all over the place. Cave and I weren't sure what line was gonna be the line you wanted to do for tire saving, but honestly, it kind of looked like you could really go anywhere, and maybe even the top worked just a little bit better. But like I said before, nice to see you in the top five. Believe that's your first podium of the season, maybe second. I'm honestly not too sure, but
No, it's my first. You're right.
first, all right. Well, it's great to see you in the top three. Hopefully, we'll see you again. I believe I don't know exactly where we go next week, but I believe that'll be the start of the playoffs as well. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a bit interesting. And yeah, get your shout outs in, man.
Yeah, I got to shout out my teammate Landon for also painting these beautiful BK Racing throwbacks. I almost don't want to take it off now after a good race. We wanted to give him another shot after we both kind of
We did
kill
say
ourselves.
he's running good, so I think you should probably leave those on about middle part of the race. We said that you should probably leave those things on.
Yeah, I mean it's nice looking car. It's hard
yeah.
not to, but
Mhm.
yeah, we wanted to give him justice after we kind of killed ourselves at Darlington, and I was really mad because I'm normally pretty good there. But yeah, I mean, just shout out to you guys for broadcasting. We really appreciate it. They're fun to go back and rewatch or whatever. And shout out to everyone that puts this league on. I'm really thankful to be able to run.
Oh well, congratulations, my man, on a P2 finish. We'll see you next week for the start of the playoffs.
All right, I'll see ya.
Cade Ferguson, your second place finisher there. Is we're gonna bring Randy Arms, the league owner, into the booth for his P3 finish. Do you want this one, Cade, or do you want me to do this
Sure,
one
I
as well?
got it. I'll do Randy.
All right.
Randy, do you got a copy?
I got you.
Coming home with a P3. Not too bad of a night for you. Talk to us a little bit about your race. We saw that you were running the bottom more than anybody. And what kind of led you to the bottom? And what kind of overall did you think of the race?
Yeah. When I ran the top, I just got way too loose. So I found a way to run the bottom and kind of keep the rears under it, and seemed to work pretty good. Kind of felt like maybe before that last yellow, I would have had a better shot. But it was just crazy there towards the end with people staying out and there's people in the news. But yeah, all in all, felt like I had a pretty quiet race. Just kind of solidly in the top 5 all night, top 3. Had a chance to take the lead a couple times. Just so hard to pass on the bottom. I think you know that when someone's on the top here, they just get that run. So makes it hard to complete the plat or say the pass. So no, we had a good run there. Should have some good momentum after the break going into the playoffs. So hopefully we'll we'll come back to. I think we come back to Talladega. I don't even know where we run.
Yeah, we're starting at Talladega in a couple
Yeah, or say
weeks.
Talladega and can have can have some luck and have a good run there.
Oh God. Oh, lost my train of thought. Anyways, yeah. What are your thoughts going into the playoffs in a couple weeks, man? Like I said, we're going to Dega. It's always a chaotic track. We usually get a lot of good showing there. It wasn't a super big field tonight, but I have a feeling going to Dega, we're gonna have some pretty big fields going into there. Just thoughts going into playoffs.
Yeah, it seems like the restricted plate races always bring back a few people that hadn't ran in a while. So hopefully we get a good field. It's always fun when you have a big field in the playoffs because it kind of puts the pressure on those playoff drivers to actually perform good. But yeah, hopefully we can go there. Avoid the big wreck or big wrecks if we have more than one. Hopefully people at least race smart for the first part of the race. We can kind of ride around. I know that might be a little boring for you guys, but for us, it's kind of nice to just kind of cruise for, at least until towards the end, or say the end of the stage, and just have a good finish in the stage, have a good finish in the race, and hopefully come out of there with, some sort of, or say buffer to the cutoff for the next round. Just try to make it easy on us.
Yeah, we'll try to keep ourselves entertained here. Hopefully maybe get a little bit of action for us. But I'm sure wreck avoidance and smart moves are going to be the name of the game going to Dega next in 2 weeks. Yeah, like I said, we see you. I believe you're sitting top 5 in points right now. So, and I'm sure I believe you actually catch Landwehr as well. He's not doing too great the last couple of weeks, especially in the points. So yeah, we'll see you at Dega in a couple of weeks. And before we get you out of here, get your shout outs in, man.
Yeah, just want to thank everyone that or say showed up tonight and has, or say showed up all year. Um, we kind of expect the fields to get a little smaller as the year goes on, but still to have about 20 cars to race, I feel like that's not too bad. We don't, advertise this league a ton and whatnot, so I don't expect us to have, full fields or say each night. So, if we get 20 cars a night, that's just satisfying for us. So, yeah, just thank everyone, that's been here all year, or say thank you guys for starting to do these broadcasts. I always like to go back and watch. I watch most of it. I might skip around some, but I like to go back and see or say some stuff that I might have missed. And I want to give a shout out to Cade tonight. He had a really fast car. Was kind of pulling for him, and I realized I couldn't get by him and Lawton. I thought maybe he'd have something for Lawton there at the end. So, congrats to him on a second, and congrats to Lawton for coming in for his like one or two race of the year, and or say spoiling the show. He's pretty good at that.
Well, like I said, great to see you back in the top 3. Good points day for you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks at Dega.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty. Well, that is going to do it for Bristol. What a good race. I mean, all throughout the race, it seemed like the leader was getting challenged, even though Josh led most of it. He was in contention of losing it, seemed like half of it, but regular season playoffs going to start next week at Talladega. Alex, how'd you think about tonight?
I mean, way better than I was expecting it to be. I mean, like I said pre-race, I didn't know what to expect coming in. It's Bristol. It's up and down. Sometimes you get a great race. Sometimes you just get a dud. Like it's the next gen car. Every single year it seems to get worse and worse. But not a bad race especially for Xfinity. A lot of action. Unfortunately, had some unfortunate cautions that honestly didn't really need to happen. But hey, it's Bristol. It's easy to make mistakes here. But overall, honestly, I'd put it probably top 5 races of the year so far. Especially in terms of battling as well. Had a lot of great battles around mid pack, even towards the back, and obviously the race for the lead was all over the place. And to get an unexpected winner as well, someone who just came in and just decided to, like Randy said, spoil the show. It's not a bad way to take Bristol.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. And we'll be ready for next week at Talladega. So going to one of the shortest tracks on the schedule to the biggest, Talladega Super Speedway. And we will see you guys all then.